Let's see how this works. Thank you, but you're heavy. Sending out that argonite energy. It stays in the bowl, goes with the bowl, but it adds weight. I guess I should introduce myself. This is, or I am, or this all could be, but this show is called Eight Wind is Timeless. I am the holder of the sacred infinite ball game created by the Hero Twins. And as I come in these nights, I am also your galactic daddy-o, and I'm welcoming you all on the galactic patio from Minnesota to the universe. And tonight we are sharing vanilla porter, So pop them if you got them, smoke them if you want them. However you get your mind together, please join me bottoms up. Cheers. I guess I can. Who's joining me? Dr. Sinister. Well, thank you. Hey, Stacy Ray. Thank you. Hey, Run It Up. Jack. Not a lot. I saw some of the highlights. They kept showing the one highlight where dude was dunked on all. They emphasized he scored 33. I was going back and forth. Oh, actually, the pickleball that I shared earlier, I was watching that. I turned away from the football game. I kind of forgot the basketball game was on, and because I watched the beginning, like some of the first quarter, then I would switch over to the football game, and I saw they had the national pickleball, the pro pickleball on, so I started watching that, and I was watching some of the hockey game as well. So didn't see a lot, but I'll tell you this about the Timberwolves: they've lost 5 in a row. They won 3 in a row, and they've lost 5 in a row. They've lost. They might have lost the last 6 in a row because they played Golden State twice recently. They played them here, lost, went out there and lost. Yeah, they might have lost 6 in a row. 6 in a row. So, but they play again Wednesday. I rarely miss one on TV. They show all their games too. Hey, Crazy Sarge. We talked the other day, trying to see what we can do to raise people's vibrations. And I guess that's one of the things that one of my things that I wanted to talk about tonight is, as you know, with the daylight savings coming in. Now, to give an example, and I mentioned this on the pickleball show, actually. So today it was cloudy. So today it got dark about 5. I mean, we played up until about a little after 5 because of the clouds. It was dark. But what was funny, around 4:15 or so-ish, it was so cloudy. When the sun came, it was almost like around 4 o'clock, the sun came in and it was almost like we had lights on the pickleball court. It was really fun, phenomenal. But yesterday there was a turkey around the court. Today I couldn't tell what that was, but it's like, I love that it's on the reservation because the reservation, despite it being with the natives, is still land. And Prior Lake in general is holy land. It is land that has some type of special gift. Again, this is the land of the red granite. The red granite is one of the highest rating crystals as far as the energy that it would support. And it's full down here. And as they took the lake away from the natives and gave the natives a small lake, the natives still have a fairly big plot of area. And they gladly gave this to the people where they created a park. It's a dog park too, and it's a walking trail that's over there. So that's kind of how I spend my days. But one thing with the time change that everyone has to be aware of, and for me, I enjoy this time of year because we're about to come into, especially we have the solstice coming in, and we're going to have the shortest day of the year. So that means it's the longest night. And so, as what's beautiful about this time of year is the long nights. Now, I don't know if a lot of people can really enjoy that, but I really do. Just as forward as I look for the long days, most people look forward to June, July, but I love May because May is the opposite of now. May is the long days. And right now, I look forward to the long nights. Now, I've mentioned this many times before. Back in 2015, we had the longest night of the year. No, excuse me. We had the longest night in 500 years. And I was living closer to my tree family than I am now. And I was prepared. And one of the ancestors came in with all the full gold regalia, just came in like on a flying crown. It was like, what's up? It's like, yeah, they let us loose tonight. And so ever since then, I've really enjoyed the solstice. I enjoy the solace or just the times that you can meditate and use the darker energies or the night energies. Now, remember what we just went through with Halloween in celebrating the night and the dark energies. Well, now we're going to have them for about a month. And what people don't realize is it may not seem like it, but once we hit the solstice, the days gradually get longer. And I've said many times before, in this kind of reality, this kind of illusion, for the holidays, they speed up this thing. Now, we know this thing was sped up to take away a lot of energies from basically 86, 87 to 12. That's what 12 was really about. And then was where they have to basically slow everything back down. Well, what they have continued to do is after Thanksgiving, or excuse me, after Halloween, they forward the energies because they need us to help them bring in this new year they claim. They need us to celebrate this new year. And so that is why they push this thing forward. They push the energies that are out here now. The longer the darkness is the best for me. There you go. There you go, Crazy Sarge. And it's really a great time to meditate. We have a full moon coming up next week. I believe it's on the 19th. So this is a lot of good time to manifest and try your magic, not under the sun, not under the prism, not under the light, to try to, your magic at night. Because in some ways it's easier to move at night. There's a relaxedness that you don't see in the daytime. And some things that can be visually seen in the daytime can't be seen at night. And so you can almost move in silence in a certain kind of way. So those of you that can take advantage of that, that's what's coming with the full moon. Right now it's getting dark. Like yesterday, because it was sunny, we didn't quit until about 5. I think when I sat in my truck, it was 5:45. So I bet we quit playing around 5:30 or so. Today, closer to 5. So it got a little darker earlier because, again, it was cloudy the whole time we were there. But the weather was cool. Weather was cool. Like, I'm really the kind of person that's always been in shape. I've been hurt so much since 15 when I tore my Achilles that just didn't find something that could really get me in shape again. I always relied on basketball for that. So basketball was taken away from me as I had to kind of cure myself and get stronger. And now I think we're going to play. We tried to play last week, with my dyslexia. And let me tell you how mean my family is. So I'm trying to show my son, I've got this super ninja fryer, broiler, baker, and I was trying to show it to my son, and I couldn't remember how to turn the phone. He's like, just turn the phone around. He's laughing, crying at me. He's like, it is like he doesn't understand that it's just the way I'm wired. Sometimes it takes me a minute to pick that kind of thing up, but he is crying, laughing because I can't remember how to turn the camera to the view. So that's how my son embarrassed me. But so I like that I have a way to stay in shape. I really do. I've been doing yoga for weeks, battle rope, a lot of other things that it takes to build the kind of muscle memory that playing this kind of thing is. So I'm going to try to play basketball, see how I do. I once thought I was good. We'll see. Send any other shape shifting? No, but on the reservation, as I was saying, I heard a turkey. Turkey stayed around where we played for a long time, just calling out. And then when I was leaving, it was like 4 fawns, little older fawns, but 4 fawns lined up together. So a lot of spiritual signs. But I'll say this. Those beings really most of the time stay away from me for most parts because I kind of can recognize. It's almost like I got the glasses. So no, haven't ran into anything. Oh, I didn't bring my mirror. Oh, that was the one thing that I did want to show. But I have. Where is it? There it is. Knew it was up here. So if I talked about this, I knew I had this. there's a lot of crystals that I really feel close to, especially crystals that come out of Michigan. And I'm trying to see. I can grab this. There we go. And some of the things that come out of Michigan that I really are in great touch with and really resonate with is, of course, copper. The oldest copper mines come out of Michigan. They found a million-year-old copper mine. They found a copper mine from a million years ago. And this was reported even by the bigger people. Probably not having. I kind of worried about my son playing this video game, what kind of signal I was going to get. Okay, it's getting a little better. And so, of course, this is Michigan copper. The guy I buy it from gets this from Michigan. So this is a solid piece. It's a solid piece of copper. So I resonate. I drink out of copper vessels, have been for 5 years. But what I bring this up for is this piece of hematite. And as far as I know, hematite is the only grows in Michigan. And what they do is they varnish this to create the mirrors. But as you see, it has a natural, no matter what side you really put it on, there's a sheen to it. And this is a little more sheen to it. And I've showed my big mirror many times before. But this is grounding. This is probably even more so than my motivite. As far as a lot of times when you deal with, and I don't have any sugarite behind me. Like if I sit with some sugarite, a lot of times, especially just by itself, has such a rush of energy that it can give you that you'll want something to ground you. And I would always keep this near me because I would call on this to kind of level it out if I didn't harmonize with sugarite, because sugarite is really one crystal. And I would even say this more than the motivite. But sugarite by itself, it's one crystal that if you just can still everything in your mind, you can feel it put you on like Jacob's, what they call it, the elevator, Jacob's ladder. You can feel it. It's one crystal that you can really feel rush you, but it'll do it really quick. But so I cleaned up a little bit and I pulled my big mirror down. And as I pulled my mirror down, what happens is this gets so when they varnish it, it gets so reflective that you can see your face. But the reason why in some ways this is kind of better than a regular mirror or obsidian mirror is because your face is already kind of encoded into the sheen. So you can see your own reflection, but it's easier because a lot of times you want your reflection to disappear when you're working with a mirror. You want your reflection just to literally disappear. And then you start seeing what you would see when you meditate, when you close your eyes. Well, with this, because the sheen is already there, it already puts like clouds. And so your face is you're not seeing a direct reflection. And so it's easier to zoom into the mirror because you're already having kind of like a little help to pull you in a little bit. And how would I describe it? And so the mirror, again, communicating with the mirror in the way I communicate with, again, just when your Kundalini moves so much and you really get that where you get the bumps, the goosebumps. Some people say that's the kind of the snake kind of thing that happens to you when you move Kundalini. But a clear picture came, and the picture was really cool because the picture in some ways was like a lion humanoid. I know this may sound silly, but the cowardly lion is the best way I can describe it. But more refined looking. But it was just funny that it came into this mirror that, for the most part, is made out of this. And so it was a good, strong, because it kept me like it really just, and that's why we know that again, one of Montezuma's men, or one of his holy people, saw 10 years before, saw in one of the mirrors. I mean, when you see the Disney shows Mirror, Mirror on the Wall, and them talking to each other. This is copying what was done in the Americas. This was one way of communication. I mean, they took Montezuma's mirror. And again, they took it because they looked at it as magic. And that's how they approached it. They approached it as magic. So when John Dean, took hold of it and he brought in Kelly, that's how they approached it. How do we get the magic out of this? How do we make this magic work for us? And of course, we know Kelly faked it, but it's been people that have been able to tune into it. I mean, hell, they had 400 years to learn how to tune into it. I had to remove something from a mirror the other day and put it in another. Okay. Yeah. I mean, if you wanted to save it, if you didn't want to destroy it, but that makes sense. And that's kind of cool. That's really a cool concept. Because if you didn't want to, I mean, that's the thing that I don't get about the people. See, the people that flat Earth, they don't understand the illusion part of flat Earth. They really don't. That's a part that they miss. Hey, Marco, thank you for the kind words. Hey, PJ. Steph had the Magnus on tonight. Okay, I don't have the NBA network. I don't even have the NBA channel. I don't understand why. I got TBT, TNT, TBS, but they don't offer the NBA network, and it's owned by the same. I've got the NFL network, but it's just owned by the same people. It's all Turner stuff. But so, what you know about skinwalkers? I don't really pay much attention to that. I mean, what is? Hey, CJ Jordan, thanks for joining. I mean, what does that benefit thinking about that? I mean, it's something like, why would he even put that in your consciousness? Because they say it's there. So I just say, keep it there. I mean, that's the only way I look at it. It's like that. I have no care about that. So I just don't, why would you put your energy into studying that? I don't see any benefit. It's the same thing they try to tell you with Area 51. I mean, again, if you want to study this space and alien stuff, there's so much out there that can it'll never stop. Like my mother met Robert Heinlein, maybe Robert Heinlein, that wrote the movie Starship Trooper, but the best book of his is Time Enough for Love. And she had kept a scrapbook of all UFO stuff that she, it just got out of the local papers as she was a young woman. And she let one of my cousins borrow it. And of course, he never returned it. But she had, again, this stuff, once she got curious of it, this stuff presented itself over and over again, enough where she got a whole scrapbook of it. So it even did that then, and it'll do the same thing now. I mean, once you go down the rabbit hole, this is the information age, or be coming to the end of the information age, but it's still the information age. So once you open the rabbit hole up, there's a lot that it'll just keep feeding you. And at some point, you got to say, why do I want to be fed by this? If you got a fire stick, I'll show you how to get down. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I could probably do that. We've got the other one, the Chromebook. I need to watch Dune. I need to watch the Eternals. Just haven't taken the time. I might go watch the Eternals after I play pickleball tomorrow, because it's $3. I think it's $3 movies tomorrow. In 2.5 hours, I can go drink a beer or two and don't have to worry about driving. And the thing about when it's a long movie, you can go pee, and by the time you get back, you can go pee, get another beer, get some popcorn, get some hot dogs, get some nachos, get some wings, and go back, and you'll be on the same scene. You only missed a couple words. So, I mean, that's just how you put your energy. I do want to echo something that Brother Nick said last night that makes a lot of sense. And I want to just kind of go on his point a little more. And he talks about a man's man. And this has been under attack at least for the last 20 years of not wanting men to be strong men. Like a lot of times they show like the shaming of James Evans and why John Amos wanted to quit doing that role. And if you really looked at James Evans' life, and there's one episode where he gonna make $7 an hour, and that shit was gonna make them middle class. $7 an hour, they were going to be able to move out of Cabrini Green and live middle class. And I bring that up because, as I said before, if you followed what they did to America, they took all the jobs out of the Midwest and replaced the jobs with crack, and then snuck in jobs behind low-paying jobs. And I went over the other night why a lot of sharecroppers in Michigan stayed, why a lot of the Mexicans took these lower-paying jobs. It was almost like that is what was planned. I mean, people don't understand terrible working conditions, working for assholes, working for managers that think that they are literally gods. I'm sure people can relate to that. I've had to fire people working under me for that same kind of thing. Give them a little authority and just don't know how to act with it. And it's not even authority. You're just trying to work to make the business go well. And that's one thing that people don't look, they don't talk about that. They want to say that people are lazy and that people just don't want to work. I see that they're messing with my thing again. So, and that's not always the case. You have a lot of low-paying jobs that come with working with assholes. And I've said that before. But another part, I'm kind of swaying off my point. Being a man's man has been frowned upon. And I was using James Evans because that was his point of no matter what, he always wanted to be shown with respect. Now, I don't really like how they show BMF, and they show that the family won't take the drug money because the father's just too proud, but the father doesn't make enough money to make, ends meet. That is what we see in the melanated father. The father lost his job, something happened to him, so he's just the older cat that's just mad at the world and blames the white man for everything. Do you understand how they portrayed certain people? This is part of the betrayal that we've seen. But when Brother Nick mentioned being a man's man, that just rose my kundalini, because that's not said enough. They don't want that anymore. They don't want just a strong, balanced man. They don't want the man that they can turn your lights off, take your car away, your car breaks down, but yet you sit there and take it on the chin and make it work till you can fix it. One dude put a generator outside his house. Told all his neighbors, this generator's going to be loud, but this is what we got to do. All the neighbors was cool enough. He didn't run and hide. He didn't blame him and the wife. He didn't go get drunk. He's like, temporarily, this is what I'm going to do until I can change it. He took it on the chin. And we don't see this enough. I mean, we see brothers in the most feminine kind of ways. It's almost an attack on manhood. Oh, messing with my feet again. My uncle once said he wished they stayed in the South and stayed on the farms instead of falling for the factory trap here in the Midwest. Well, I mean, one thing that the Dane is really pushing is saying that when they end up signing up to vote, it took some of their land rights away. He doesn't do a great job of explaining how just voting gave up land rights. But, I mean, there's a point. A dude did an experiment when he sent out 60 applications, some jobs, and only one respondent. Is it me, or back in the day, we didn't go to baby showers? No, that was just women. That was just a woman thing. Like there was no such thing. Well, even the reveal is probably the last 20 years, 26 years. We knew, yeah, about the last 30 years, probably even the last 35 years, you could tell if it was a boy or girl. So that reveal stuff, no, but dudes didn't go to the showers. All the games and stuff was for women, definitely. I didn't go to any of my children's showers. Yep, we really didn't. Or wear skinny jeans, exactly. Is it funny? A man working with GM in Detroit during the time period didn't want for anything. His kids would only sell because they need exactly. I've talked about this before. GM in the 70s was still kicking ass. And even going back to the 60s, when I talk about the functioning heroin addicts, I mean, it was heroin addicts at an all-time high, but they was functioning. These people was heroin addicts and still working all day. It wasn't like we see people with the lean. These people were still productive people. You know, like functional illiterate is a person can't read or write but can still get along. Well, that we had the same thing. We had a lot of functional heroin addicts. Wasn't just the junkies in the corners or in the alleys. Wasn't that? Have you seen the Petco commercial where they're all saying melanated people are like dogs? You caught that too. Is that the one? Like, is that the one with the puppets? Because I saw some shit. No, I saw some shit with some puppets talking about autism, and it was like the dog was the one that had autism, and I was like, wait a minute, you trying to? And this is very similar to what you said. I'm like, you're trying to say that people with autism are like the dog? Because it was like a puppet dude talking to a puppet dog, and I was like, what is this commercial? Because it was like fake Sesame Street, but those type of puppets. And I was like, what is the point of this? And then they talked about autism, and I'm like, where? There was no child. Because it was like you had to show patience, and the patience was the dude talking to the dog. And I thought, I'm like, what is this about? So could be. Hey, Sly, what's happening? Thank you for joining me. Hey, Alito, what's happening? Hey, Edward Bailey, what's happening? We did a reveal for my granddaughter coming, and I told my wife I'm not going to the baby shower. We had bought the baby plenty. There you go. Yeah, I haven't been to any of my women's baby showers. No. The reveal is something different now. They put the reveal with the shower, but even if I had that, I would leave after the reveal because it's been historically set up where they play multiple games and stuff. So my pop said they'd be online drinking, smoking joints, union reps included. I've said this before. We was all set to go to Germany. We were all set to go because when I started working with Bentler, we made the Bentler made, like, Mercedes doors had an extra 2 supports, and there was really nothing but some metal about so long that went in Mercedes doors. Each door had these like extra braces, and that's kind of what we made. Well, it was coming a time where, for some reason, like, we did go to Mexico. We went to Mexico with the CMM equipment, and we set them up how to do the CMM equipment in Mexico. But we were about to go over to Germany, and so we had all got our passports and stuff and ready to go. And they had sent 1 dude or 2 people over there. And in Germany, they have vending beer machines in the factories. And the 2 dudes that went over there couldn't handle it. They couldn't handle where Germans, they ain't gonna sit there and just get drunk on the line. It is just like French children. They drink wine every day when they little. It's just a cultural thing. And so we ended up didn't go because them 2 dudes, they figured that the rest of the Americans would follow suit with the same thing, that we all would see a beer machine at work and, had a big German mugs and shit with the Germans. Yeah, nobody's that silly. But as I said, when my brother Nick brought that up about being a man's man and what that really means in today and how you can maintain that. Because it doesn't matter how much money, what your stature is in life, where you are in life, you can still always be a man's man. And part of when people say, they stay their square, they stay their ground, or you stand where you battle, your battleground, which a lot of good ways is a sacred ball game. And you take it on the chin. You don't turn your back. You face it. You face danger, first of all. You face danger. You face it. I mean, of course, you look for cover, but you face danger. That's Carnegie. Andrew Carnegie, that's one of the things he teaches you. You face it. You take it on the chin. And you always try to look for the best example you can be. You always carry yourself. My children can't say where they seen me just sloppy drunk. Like I saw somebody on Facebook show a man, and the man, like on his whatever, the dude was like around my age, 50 something, 60, and they showed a picture of him passed out drunk on his birthday. What does that show? That's a reason to pass out drunk? And the family members showing like it's cute. Well, it's his birthday, get fucked up. Why? Like all these people with the birthday, holding on to the birthday weekend, the birthday month, celebrating your demise. And I've said this time and time before, but people celebrate their demise. 1 year closer to dying, so hey, let's celebrate it. I mean, that keeps you in the illusion, makes you believe that you can get old, makes you believe that death is real. Something that ain't real, they make you believe it's real. You think death is real? Kill a bug, and you'll see another bug come right behind it. If it's so real, why? Be right there, it shows you it's not really what they tell us it is. So it's something that we shouldn't fear. And that gets back into taking on a chin and being what a man should be, or being what a grown person should be. Hey, Barbara. Thank you. Autism was known as precious evolutionary commodity in the new Predator movie. Oh, interesting. It's the dog with the squeaky toy for the Christmas commercial. Okay. I don't think I've seen that. I don't think I've seen that one yet. They promote alcoholism and drunkenness as a badge of honor with no different dope liquor. Yeah, it's not. Hey, Chris Copper, we don't die, we kill ourselves. Yeah. Well, I mean, we accept it. We accept that we can die. I love the one Latin a comedian said his father went in the office and the man and the doctor told him he had cancer, and the father said, no, I don't. And knowing it's a joke, and he said his father beat it. He said he changed a lot and beat it. But the thing is when you went in there, and this is how they mess with you, they make you take these tests. It was like the age test, remember? And you're like, they make you take the age test, and however you get the result, you're like doing your thumbs, like, well, damn, I shouldn't have fucked her, and shouldn't have fucked her, could it have been her, and making you believe that there's something wrong with you. Because you could go in that office like you didn't have the shit when you went in. Why are you carrying the shit out with you? They'd be like, well, you got cancer, and motherfucker grab the bag and walk out and like, yes, sucker, we've got this cancer now. And then you tell everybody, and then you and this is what was fucked up about cancer. They want you to kill yourself to live a little extra. And my mother's like, well, you're a fighter. So I'm going to use all this shit to basically kill myself so I can be around, so other people can say, well, he's still around, we can call him. I don't want that. And I refuse to do that. Now, to each his own. But to me, that's not a choice. And I can't say you got to be like me, but I'm saying, think about it. Think about it. Is that worth it? Is it worth that much to kill your system inside so you can live a little longer? And it might take breaks. They might sit there and say, well, this is number such and such, and we're going to let them say it went away. You go in there and be like, well, it shows that it went away. It went to sleep for a little while, and you don't have it right now. And you go celebrate and live. And at any time, they can come back and say, hey, I know I told you 3 years ago that it wasn't doing nothing, but guess what? It's back. You pissed and it's back. Well, wait a minute. I was feeling fine yesterday. I was really feeling fine until you called me again. Well, we just thought we would tell you. The words kill you just as much as the disease. I don't know. I hear certain things, and it's something that's worth thinking about. Some things are just worth thinking about a little more. That's all. So I didn't have a whole lot to share tonight. They pulled that shit on my grandma last year. Hey, good morning, Jeffrey. How you doing? Yeah, Chris, they pull that on everybody. Want everybody to go through that. Family and all. Family suffering and all. Oh man, I watched some shit called Yellowstone that was on last night with Kevin Costner, right? Shoot, this chick got blowed up, and she got blowed up, and this shit was such a good scene. This chick got blowed up, and they showed how she was about to get blowed up. She walks out and she makes it because the bomb wasn't right in front of her. It was like she was like 10, 15 feet from the bomb. She comes out, her skin is smoking and burnt. She is smoking. A dude walks up again, they show her ears ringing, and this chick sits there and asks dude if he has a cigarette, and she lights the square up. This chick is like smoking from being blowed up, and her skin, blowed up, and she's sitting there smoking a square. Until they came to help her. And then there was some machine gunning. That was some good machine gunning. It was just some good action. It was like mafia cowboy go at them in Wyoming Park in Yellowstone. So it was kind of interesting. Yeah, Yellowstone. That shit was crazy. The way it was just a nice shoot up. It was like a nice shoot up. So hooray for a shoot up. But it's a sad part where they show natives. Dude, and I was thinking it was like the one native they show all the time. And keep in mind, I know I always refer to Gangs of New York, but Gangs of New York told you back when that movie came out in the early 90s, natives are the first generation after Washington. That's what a native is. They are the first generation after Washington. And I was kind of listening to some natives talk about they've been in this area forever. No, they ain't. No, they ain't. They ain't been in this area forever. Matter of fact, most of these people wasn't discovered to the 1840s, 1850s. So we know they came down from Canada. And if you listen to their stories, they tell you they come from Siberia, which there was no land bridge. And I've talked before, people moving around the world. This is the lies they don't want to tell you. People was always moving around the world. Always traveling. I guess my dogma is always to push that the omen came all through the Americas, up the coast, up through the Mississippi valleys, because you see evidence and where you see them playing the game. And I've said this before, and I'm saying this again. You watch the old Shaka Zulu. Remember, before Shaka, when the Africans was having problems, they was just throwing spears at each other. I guess it was points the closest you got to somebody. Shaka was the one going up and killing the other ones. Oh, and I'll say this. For any of you that really want to know who was the biggest slave traders of Africans, I've got this book, the history of the world slave trade. And you talk about the people in Middle Africa, maybe the Congo. They was the biggest slave traders. You read this book and you read other books and you see how much they traded Africans when they would conquer other tribes, kind of like what the British did and the other Europeans did when they came to America. But they did it. I mean, it is unbelievable. The numbers that you can find that Africans traded the British themselves, especially once lead. Because at one time, Africans traded them shells, them whatever kind of little shells, that was what they traded. For a long time, they traded shells. But then the Europeans started bringing iron in and showing them how to smelt the iron. And that is when the slave trade of Africans really accelerated, of them selling Africans to Europeans. Was done by Africans the most. And you know what I guess kind of got popular? Look it up. Look it up. You see the fake call of Chicago Bears game. They cheated the Bears. Oh my goodness, James Gant. That's why I had to show that. I'm like, okay, this dude tackle and this dude okay, he gets in because it is a special defense. They're blitzing the extra linebacker. He gets in. This is a practice squad dude. Probably was doing kickoffs. That's why he was probably filling in injuries. Kickoff dude. And he doesn't just get the tackle and run back to his sideline. He had to do all that parading. So we know that was fake. We know that was fake. And they did a bunch of, you could see that it was a Pittsburgh kind of night tonight. You could see that in the first half. Then that call made it clear that they wanted Pittsburgh to win. And even though they fooled people and let Chicago get that late touchdown, who won? Who won? And you could see it coming. On the last drive, it was another bogus call. So you can see it. Yeah. The skinny native guy that works for the council member, I knew he was part of the Boule. It's a Boule. They could be. Yeah, the education thing. I mean, that's what they did to those children as well. Is they pulled the children. Again, what they did to, I've said this before. See, the natives were them. And they had a part of them that didn't know. This is the thing. They had a part of them that didn't know English in America. So they took those children because they were really, in some ways, their children as well, European children as well, because these people ain't who they say they are. So there were a lot of Europeans just teaching other Europeans, but they taught this group who want to say they were, you see, now they want to use Aboriginal, indigenous. That's what they want to use. But no, you take natives forever. So you can't change up now. Well, my brother says it best. There's one Sioux tribe, and the Sioux tribe on the coast from South Carolina was trying to reach out to some of the nation. And they was like, we do not know our brothers. That's what he said. We do not know them. These ain't the people that left us. Not the group. We don't know them. So called their play wars and play battles a joke. Oh, yeah. But this is the thing with the Americas. And this goes back into the Hero Twins, but it goes back into the way it was practiced in the Americas. A lot of times these games took the places of actual battle. I mean, football is still a war. Sports are still kind of warlike, especially football. But it was a way to get the aggression out with that, and people got hurt. I mean, you had some of these games. If you know the game Takalina, there's many names, but where you throw the ball up and one person just run with it. Well, they had games like that where they all had like lacrosse things, and one person's running with it, and he's trying to throw it between two sticks like goalposts, and you got 1,000 motherfuckers trying to stop you. It's the same thing as Takalina. That's what we call it. That was one of the names. I know others have, but I'm not going to bring the disrespectful name up. But this was what was done. And so it wasn't always just about having to murder each other. Because you look at the history of Europe, it is nothing but war. That is what they show you their history is. And that's also psychological to tell you, because they're so warlike, they can go to war against you. Because seems to be one of the European ways, is to go to war. I mean, World War I really makes no sense. You've got all this family fighting amongst each other. I mean, look at the picture of World War I where you see all the different royalty of taking pictures with Elizabeth. Queen Elizabeth. No, not Elizabeth, Victoria, excuse me. Look at all them pictures of pre-World War I Victoria, and you see people from both sides. And any of you want to look up the Royal Nazi, they own some of them German lands, because them Windsors is really Germans. I don't really think they're related to William the Conqueror. He was from France, remember. These people, they're Germans, and that's why they was with Hitler. You can see Queen Elizabeth and her sister Margaret, little girls, Nazi saluting. That ain't nothing new. That's been out for some years. That's why, and on the Royals on Netflix, they want to shame George because he was fucking with Hitler, but they didn't show them pictures of Elizabeth and her Margaret being little girls, hi Hitler, and their mother telling them to do it. Because this is who these people was. They was Germans. So, when people sacrifice people, are the demons literally eating their souls, or is it a soul trap? I didn't really want to get into, what just happened, but I'll say this. With 50,000 people, and if you really look at it as an evil way, these people are so sophisticated where it's not hard to make 10 people disappear out of 50,000, or even 20 people disappear. It's not even hard to replace them. Take them live and replace them with a lookalike. I mean, it's not hard to do that. And it wouldn't be even hard to do that on a mass scale. If even say 200-300 people, when you got 50,000 people. Now, I'll say this, Jeffrey. Demons generally have a purpose. And so under your question, there's not really a purpose with the demons. So you're saying, is the demon eating its soul? So is the demon a step in? Is the demon did the exorcism, the join? Like when they show a parasite don't necessarily want to kill the host at first. So why would the demon necessarily want to kill the host, if you understand? Now on the other aspect is, if you wanted to use some type of demon with yourself and your own magic, it would be for a purpose. You ain't just saying like any demon just pop up, any demon just pop up and help me. It's not that much like damn Yankees where the demon just pops up and to give you everything you want. It's not always that simple. Music has a bigger influence because music can move inside of spaces by just putting it in the air. So this is why the music is attacked. This is why they want to put that demonic element in the music. I mean, not many of you listen and grew up on love music. You don't know. It's been proven. Now, what was on someone's channel? They were talking about the music that they play plants, what relaxes plants. They said the classical music, but so does R&B. They found out plants like R&B music, love music, just as much as they like Beethoven and Bach. And it's been proven. If you listen to love music every day, it will definitely hold your love vibration. It will definitely help your humanity. And most young people, I'd say people 30, don't listen to love music like that. I mean, there's not even really a balance. I mean, some people would like, I have my fast music and I have my slow music. That's not even a thing with most young people. You're not even exposed to any R&B like that, any love music, or any music that's a change of pace of. And what it also takes away, when it goes back to being a man's man, it takes away the ability to talk to people in a persuasive kind of manner. It takes that ability away of what we call macking, being able to talk to a person and being able to convince them of your opinion, to being able to talk to the person that you desire and put your little magic on them. And you think listening to something, just holes in this house or something, and then trying to talk to a woman, how do you think listening to something like that and then you trying to mac on a woman? How do you think that would help you? It's not. Compared to you listening to Baby, Baby, It's You That I Need. Every day, that kind of music should be, you should listen to that music every day. If you don't meditate, throw on some more R&B to see what it can do for your vibration. One thing the witch says that's true, love or above. That's not put out there enough. Well, I'll give it. As it comes in, I'll give it out. To keep that vibration of love. You don't even think about it. Because that's part of being a man's man too. You give the ultimate love. You give that balance to a lot of people because you are a man's man and you can show love and you give love and you receive love. That doesn't take away from your manhood. It enhances it. What that song say? I think I'll color you father. I think I'll color you love. I think I'll color you father. I think I'll color you love. And the song is basically about a stepfather. What I miss. If y'all have a good darkness and the grand rising when you wake. Okay, Crazy SARS, thank you. Moses Mo on the Yellowstone is from the Boule tribe. Oh, I got you. I'm sorry. I misread. Okay, thank you. Even demons are very picky about the vibes and tones they choose to absorb and consume. That's a good point. Hey, Key. That's a lot, 8 with. Grow up on all genders. Okay, there you go. Off to the ether space beyond my eye covers. Good. Especially R&B, but we are all different. There we go. Well, that's positive to hear. The music is about busting down someone's wife today. Yeah. Y'all are followers of the Hucklebees. I don't know who that is, Jay. I don't know what that is. I don't know what the Hucklebees are. I hope you're not trolling. So I don't know what the Hucklebees are. I mean, James Brown says it's a man's world, but it ain't nothing without a woman or a girl. Romance is just not a thing anymore. And that's part of again, being a man, is being romantic. You know, courting, being able to court a woman properly. Now, I would say the negative thing about free love was, everybody just the sex thing. I mean, the disco era was you courted a woman at the disco and then you took her home after the disco and had sex with her. That's kind of what free love did. And free love turned it into just like when the goddess created porn. She was cool with it at first because it was the expression of her. But she ain't cool with what it turned into today. That was never her aim. But yet she wasn't naive enough to not know what it's going to grow into. I think it even caught her by surprise. Because the divine feminine is as freaky as they would come. It is all that shit. As I show you in watching the breakdown, Rufus Thomas singing the breakdown. You want to see a live goddess? I've said this for years and years and years. Look at the lady in the red dress. Because that day was so special that the goddess had to attend it. Now, if you don't think that is special and show off, the goddess not only comes in, she shows off. The vibration is so high, she comes in, she takes over that chick's body and she shows off. Nobody sees the importance of that moment. How long? I wasn't gonna go very long tonight. You said porn. No, I didn't see Eternals yet. I've been bumping 70s, 80s for the last 2 months. That's good. It will raise your yeah, she's very Divine Network Solutions. People my age see the 70s, 80s as old people music. I'm 26. I know what I listen to. I know the power it brings. Yeah, absolutely. It is. I mean, this is, I would even dare say, let me see, my brother's born in 66. My brother is what, 54, 55. Yeah, because my brother could slow dance. My brother could social. Yeah, so it's that generation that could slow dance. I mean, watch Cooley High. Remember Cooley High? 1 minute they dance and everybody's dancing, fast dancing. And they say turn off the lights, so we can slow dance. That's the thing. That's the thing. Having a woman follow you. I mean, that's what's cool about knowing how to social or knowing how to step, is you actually can make a woman follow you. And if that ain't a Mac, I mean, that's a Mac. To meet could be a complete stranger and have her follow you with the music. And I mean, should I say this? Okay, I'll even share this. It's like, even if you look down at two people dancing and especially slow dancing, and you look at the shapes that they make, like if you could graft what they're making and the power of that creation. Hope I put that visual out there where you could look down and see what I'm talking about. Where you make your own kind of sigil. Cast. They promote more romance amongst the NMWAP community more than regular relationships. Yeah, that's true. That is somewhat true. They do. The commercials now and everything. Last trailer for Ghostbusters Afterlife today, they talked about 666 opening portholes. So Bill Murray had some things. Yeah. Well, remember the one with the women, and I've talked about this before. The last one they did with the women, remember they were showing how these, now you're talking about type of demons, how these demons was possessing people coming in and out of the grocery store. Now, that was a hell of a tell that because now this has happened to all of us. Think about you going to a mall and you just spend some shit and you only went to the mall to get one thing. There's a type of enchantment that malls give out. I've caught myself. I was like, I remember I bought some bootleg cologne one time. You know how they had the cologne kiosks, the shit smell like something. And after I bought it, it wasn't that it didn't smell good, but it was like, I had to think about it. I'm like, okay, I got caught by it. But this is a real thing. You can get slightly possessed to spend more. Slightly attached. That's why really when you leave a door, now especially hospitals, but when you leave a store or something like that, you really want to hesitate. And really you should do this when you go in. I don't bring anything in. And I'm sure not taking anything out. And most people don't think to do that. In a hospital, you definitely should say that. I'm not bringing anything in here with me. And when I leave, I'm not carrying none of this shit with me either. I have made no agreements. And it's bogus what they do, what these weak entities do, because technically buying shit ain't really an agreement, but they still will throw enchantment on you. Give you a little, the two littles on the shoulders. The one, but they both work together. It ain't the conscious where, should you know, they both is like feeding you. They both working together against you, feeding you. So, like an abstract dancing painting. Yeah, sure. That's the Willy Wonka syndrome. I think the enchantment in Walmart that happens to me when I go there. But any store, it really is. You go in there to get a few things and you just find yourself getting more than what you're supposed to. And it's a type of kind of weak enchantment that stores have used. And I was surprised that Ghostbusters showed it, because that's a thing. That's what it is. It's a thing that's sitting there, and I'll say this, if you're open to it too. If you're open to it, you got a little discretionary money and you open to just blowing some money because you got it. So you go in there and, in your real mind, you say, I only need this. But in the back of your mind, you're saying, shit, I got this and I can afford to blow a couple hundred, 200-300. And it's like that ego's like, well, let's just blow it. And it's something there, it's like, man, that shirt is nice. You need it. And like when I look at clothes, I see clothes that I know that they're damn near one of a kind. It's ways you can shop and you can see clothes, but it's like I even have to catch myself because I'm like, I don't need this shit. Like I've got clothes I haven't even worn, and here I am in the store and I'm fucking buying something else. Like, well, this would go nice with some shit, but like, do I need this shit? No, I really don't. So it's just something to beware of. That's all happened to me. I went to get curtains, and the next thing I am getting some new clothes. Like I don't need it exactly, and I have to catch myself. I really do. I have to catch myself. But I enjoy clothes, and this type of year, this is the best type of year to dress. I love where you can wear coats and boots and gloves. I mean, you can dress up. And like I don't have any pants. As far as I just got jeans, sweats and jeans. That is my style, sweats and jeans. Now I've got a million tops and coats and boots to make the jeans look good, but I really don't like church pants. I really don't like club pants. I buy them motherfuckers, don't even wear them. So I quit buying them. Kind of set in my ways. I like wearing Levi's. I like jeans. Levi's are the best, but I like Levi's. And it's just so much that they're hitting everybody with. And for people to really find, I know people say peace all the time, but like, can you really find peace? Is this something to avoid you? I mean, you're always going and there's no peace. There's no calm. I would say that's the thing that I like about I'm nicer now, is I have more calmness in me. Because I'm a storm energy. And so there's times where that storm would come out. And it's like even the family was like, shit, which one? Is this the storm or is this the nice guy? So you get older, you get a little calmer. There's no peace, very little. So Mars cast that spell, especially materialism. Yeah, absolutely. That's magic that they've been doing for a long time. I mean, you go past a store that sells cool clothes or more urban clothes, and who do you think they're trying to sell this shit to? You could almost say baseball hats is mostly bought by brothers. You could almost say that. But that's an exclusive style. As it's like the thing is you should always wear a hat when you're outside. Always. I mean, they talking about the tinfoil. No, you can just use a hat and it'll do the same thing as the tinfoil is supposed to do. You're just protecting the crown. I mean, that ain't really. I wouldn't say that's a full European thing wearing the hats. That ain't really true. But we've just replaced fedoras with baseball hats. That's all. Some people, I wear the other hats, the Hamburgs, Godfather hats, the Kangos. I mean, I like all type of hats. I could find peace if I could fly straight up and hover above the earth for a while. You can do that. You got to put in the work to do it. That's easy to do. I've showed you the exercise to hover. I mean, go back to watch one of my videos where I show you the exercise, how to hover up. By now, you've been listening to me long enough to know how to leave your body. And you got to put in the work. It ain't going to just one time and it's going to work. No, you got to do it all the time. You got to do it all the time. And it's small gains when leaving your body. It ain't just something that's just like a young man that stayed here a couple of weeks. Like he was one of my son's friends 3 or 4 years ago. And he kept saying how he wanted to astral travel and leave his body. And like coming over and spending the weekend with my family, like was going to help him. And what ended up happening is we really didn't have time for each other. They got so busy. I was busy. But it's something that you have to put the work in. I mean, even turning off the voices, that takes work. Like my thing is cancel that. I'll cancel it. Or I'll just keep going quiet, quiet, quiet. Different kind of practices you can do to just control that or stop all the noise. And there's some people very uncomfortable. Like I really would like to have a soundproof room, and the quietest place on earth is here. I want to get somebody with me because it's 110 for 2 people to go, and they only take 2 people. So it's about 60 a piece. And it's the quietest place on earth. It's in a studio here in Minnesota. And a lot of people can't stand that you hear everything about you. But you bring some of this stuff in a room like that, you bring these singing bowls and these tuning forks, you can really, and I should do tuning forks, and maybe next time I do come on, I'll do tuning forks, because that does help with your building up your aura. I'll say that is one advantage, is certain notes you can work on, your whole aura, your whole magnetic source. You can really make it all stronger, so you shine greater. I know it can be done. I just have to try it more. Yeah, that's it. I still have that scary feeling when I do it. It feels crazy. Of course. It feels, I guess it happened to me so early that, because probably the first time I really broke through, I was quite young. I was probably 14. There's a realm that has been around me for a long time, and I was able to break through to that realm very young. And as I look back at the very first time I broke through, I didn't realize how far I pushed out, that I did push out, because I call it the candy people, or the candy reality. And I only call it that because of the vividness of the colors of everything. But I broke through very young. I was about 14 the first time I experienced that realm that I seem to be welcome in. And that's another thing, is like, how do I want to say this? Like the first part is just leaving your body, but once you start looking into realms, and which realm is for you, and which realm you can move through the most, I guess is how I want to put it. Yeah. And how high you vibrate, to where you go to comfortable places, comfortable spaces where you're welcomed. That's the biggest thing. Because it's kind of a bummer. You go to a place and you think it's cool, and then it's something there just like, it's not, it's out of balance. So you really ain't supposed to be there, because there'd be something there to just like throwing everything off. It's like everything is cool, everything feels good, but it's something like just right there, like showing you that this ain't for you. And you'll see that unbalance of it. Some people ignore it and stay there, and they're just like, well, it's just there, and they don't mind it. But it's kind of, and it's, I know it's a slight exaggeration, but people want to get comfortable in spaces, but it's like, again, they just see this and they don't see the thing that's there, that's like showing you that this is unbalanced. People can ignore that kind of thing, because balance, everything is, you're just creating, so yeah, the soundproof room, definitely. I've got the information. As a matter of fact, the information, what did I get it off of? Yeah, I know where the place is. So I want to get somebody to go with me and see if I can take all this stuff in there. Because I would love, because I have a book about the tuning forks, and the guy was saying that's a really good place to heal. Because if you wanted to really have a true space to heal, you would soundproof it as much as you could, to make sure that the vibrations goes deeply into people. Like one of the beds, I had a Facebook friend, and Obama showed it, where the beds, you can turn the beds to certain frequencies and they heal. But again, I looked at this young lady's room, and that type of room, if it was really soundproof, it would even hold more of that vibration in. Because of it not being soundproof, a lot of that healing is going to go out into the air. You really want a tight container for that kind of thing. And I'm like, you do your magic how you do it, but that is something I could tell she didn't consider, especially for what she used. And Bomber didn't either. I'll say that with him. He didn't either. He had a more expensive one than hers, because these beds are like 7-8 grand. And he had the same thing. He didn't really have the sound contained. And so that's something I look forward to. Maybe I'll do a video. And so still planning on going to see Cat Williams. My son says he doesn't really want to see him, and I don't know if I want to go by myself, but maybe. Still might. Looks like maybe I'll go by myself. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know. Don't really want to take a date. Even though I know people that go and have fun. How can a person fight missing time from abductions? How can a person fight missing time from abductions? I would love to give that to the Awakened One, because she seems to have a lot of that experience. To not give you just a blowed off answer, like I was saying about the Skinwalker Ranch, I don't see where that's really possible that could happen. Now, it doesn't mean that in your reality it didn't happen. But from what I'm looking at and what I see, there are so many other influences that could make it seem like that kind of thing is happening. Now, gaps in time, to not give you a rushed answer, part of the illusion, I guess I'll answer it like this. Part of this illusion, this is the best answer I can get for this, is there is such a, okay, so we get in a pattern, such a pattern where one day seems so much like the next, that we go through days, weeks, months, years, but just to say the days, it's like it's times where you don't really know one day from the next. It's like everything is so much replicated as you go through these days, where it's like really it seems like just one long day, or one continuing day, or one replay. And it's easy to lose time like that, because there's nothing like the thing about like almost dying or saving somebody's life or hitting the lottery. These are things that make the days memorable. But just regular life where nothing unnormal happens, we get so dragged into the mundane of it, how mundane it is, and how unchanging it is. It seems like time is missing from us. And that's part of what illusion can put upon you, because what happens is you get almost hypnotized, because the days are running into each other, it almost seems like. And so it seems like there just become gaps in space. Now, again, I can't say what happened to you. And I'm not just saying it didn't, because in your experience, it very might have well could have to you. It probably could have been real to you. So, but in my experience of that kind of thing, that seems to be what bothers people, is every day being so much alike. And it's like this too. It's like you almost get like liking so much. It almost comes in a way that the repeat is so, you don't even notice the difference. It's so subtle. The repeat becomes so subtle that you don't even see the difference in it. And so you could go on to just a daydream or just a lapse, and the lapse seems like forever. And then you think back, like, what day did I have that lapse? Was that last Tuesday or last Wednesday? Or was that 2 weeks ago? Trying to say, where did this come from? Where did this missing time come from? So consider all that as well. But document what you say. We talk enough where, you know, hey, can you send me your email somehow? I'm going to send you that green stone. It's almost like Groundhog Day, somewhat. Sean, yeah, I'll put it here. Oops. Oh. I need to send some more crystals out myself. When people say we might be in a time loop, what do they actually mean? Like death and time loop? Well, what some people catch, and it can be, see, a loop doesn't have to be a long drawn out loop. A loop could be something short, but it's repeating in a shorter manner. And so sometimes you won't even catch that kind of loop because you're looping in a slower speed almost. The loop isn't as noticeable. So it's almost like a skip. So I think some people mean like the time is just skipping, but a lot of times you just get small loops. Especially if this thing is really trying to push you in a certain way, it is going to start almost like stuttering. Like if you are going a different way, you are breaking code, you are breaking the spell. Sometimes it'll try to repeat you, but at a slower way. And if you don't really notice it, you could get caught into it trying to change your mind. And so it'll start like instead of the loop just coming, when it's coming and it's throwing you off, this thing is you not even noticing it's coming. And so you're being hit with something and influenced with something, and you don't even feel it. You don't even see that what's coming at you. So I think they mean a skip, because sometimes you can get into a type of skip. Divine network solutions. What type of illusion would an alien abduction event be, if that makes sense? Well, I think what they when the government started snatching people to put this alien thing in people's minds, it was still doing them Nazi experiments. Them Nazi experiments did not. I mean, look at when they talk about alien abductions compared to when Nazi experiments ended. So I think that's what not just they did a lot of still experiments on cattle too, or just animals in general, especially herd animals. They was doing experiments on them as well. And so I think a lot of what people was thinking of was aliens was still the government experimenting on people the way to doing them Nazi experiments. And that was one way to get around it. Because just look at the timelines when you see people talking about they getting abducted. Now, could that still happen today? Could they still be doing experiments on people? Well, they absolutely can. I mean, think about it like this. What makes you so special that these aliens done came from wherever? There's like, hey, Harold over there, we've got to go get Harold and open Harold up and look at his mind and see what's going on with Harold. I mean, it just, if you listen to it, it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. It's like, why? Why? So, let me get in your question. And so the illusion would put off the thing of the aliens again as propaganda and experimenting. So experimenting in illusion. Don't think that goes away. That wouldn't go away. The fake alien abduction by the military is called My Labs. Okay. They showed what you were saying about aliens in American Horror Story this past seasons. Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess. I saw the one about the vampires with the story. I'm not sure about the other one. Okay. But I mean, just look at the timelines. I mean, the Nazis didn't lose. They did not. None of why you think they didn't kill Hitler? All these lookalikes that they showed kill. They want you to think one man killed all his children with poison. You know, yeah. None of that. These Nazis, we know the boys of Brazil. They mock you and tell you that these mugs was. The English was Nazis, remember? So, but it's the fear. It's still fear. Even in an illusionary world, they still want to push fear. That's another part of it. Aliens or something else out there that can make people nervous. And so even in illusion, they want to keep you off balance, keep you unbalanced and off balance. So they put all these different scenarios to make you worry about it. You know, they got a farce going on TV to make you think these people really is against each other. And that is all a farce. These same people that work together every day. I think Super Sly was saying, like, when you have the or maybe it was Dane, when you have the prosecutors and you have the court appointed lawyers and you have the judges. I mean, these people all be together every day. And that's the lie of the politics. These people be together every day. You think they really hate each other like that? They be together every day, working together. Think they really hate each other so much? Belly Zoo. They fake lost and find and reset up. Part of the seasoned vampires, part of the aliens. Somehow they're going to tie them together. Okay, I didn't see the other part then. They fake last, then found you, us, reset up, ongoing. But some of these entities unbeatable, like would a true human light soul be able to beat them? I don't think. Say this. You don't have to beat them. That's another part of taking you down the wrong road or taking you down the wrong rabbit hole, thinking you got to beat them. There's nothing that they can do to stop us from really reaching the next phase. I mean, the biggest thing is you throw off all fear and you accept death. And you move into the groove it moves into. And you've learned enough not to go to the false light. They can never stop you. They can't take your energy signature like that if you've made no agreement. And that's the difference between you and a famous person. They make agreements. What's going to happen to their energy signature? So can they die? Absolutely, because they made an agreement to give their energy away. So they are going to die. Their energy is that monster and that's the thing with the fake illusion too. You know, people put their faith in something, and they're in the castle, and it's just a beautiful castle. And I've said this many times, and out of nowhere, this monster just starts eating your castle, and you're just left out there, and you're in the void for the first time, and ain't nothing beautiful. And where do you think you're going to go then? The first kind of thing you see that's common, and you hook on to something, and again, you've put yourself in that same scenario where the thing that's going to eat you. So it's aligning to yourself, not giving that energy away. And so don't have to fight it. You don't have to fight it. You know, the more you accept the end of this thing and the beginning of the next thing, the less control they have. It gives up. It's like, well, shit. Well, you ain't even go. You know, they show like the ones that they don't scare. You know, when they show the horror movies and somebody ain't scared, well, they go to somebody they can scare. They don't even waste time with you that they can't scare. There's like, shit, I ain't fucking with him. He ain't going for it. You know, what is the devil is back there like, look, you got to go anyway because you just might convince him at the last minute. Man, that motherfucker ain't going to never do it. I'm not wasting my time. So politics is like W very much. Trying to beat something that just wants an energy is detrimental. They need you, not the other way around. Hey, homie, Belly, that's a good point of it. It is. They what did they say? The War of the Gods. It said, if the men stop believing in us, we disappear. We can't do miracles for them. They got to believe. Remember the Richard Pryor song in Car Wash? You got to believe. Remember that? In the car wash when Richard Pryor came out the car and he gave the dude $20 and the dude gave it back to him in the hat. You know, the preacher wanted the hat. Remember that in a car wash? You know, Pointer Sisters come out. You got to believe. That's why trust and believe is funny. You know, that's a new one. I've only been hearing that the last year. Trust and believe. Where's that come from? Yeah, I don't trust anybody and I don't believe in anything. And it's funny talking to people and the people turn into Smiths. It's like my mother's the best example. Like my mother and I talk every day, and then one day she's just Smith. It's just like I'm hearing all this Smith talk, just Smith, 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 Smith. And I'm like, are you going to come back now? Is Smith gone away? And she gets mad. Well, I just don't understand how you think like that. I'm like, Smith, have you left yet? Is still Smith in there? Where's my mother at? I want to speak to her again. I don't want to speak to Smith anymore. And she gets mad, but that's how it is. It's like Smith jumps in and out of people. You know, time is on my side, jumps in and out of people. And it's so funny. People get like they said, it's not even the Holy Ghost kind of thing. It's just the what's ever going around just jumps into them and they start spitting what the popular thing is. Daddy Rich, there you go. I don't believe in nothing. I do not either. Yeah, car wash is funny. I know some Smiths. You know, he's getting his shoe shines too. You see, and that goes back into James Brown saying that he bought the building where he used to do shoe shine in front of. That's what that was kind of symbolizing. You still had the black man that was the old. You know, this is all he do. This dude, the only job he got is doing shoe shine at the car wash. You know, he rents some space where you got Daddy Rich that's got it made. You see what they're trying to show you. But they're trying to show you that the only way you can get away from being that shoe shine man and away from the car wash is scamming people. That's the other kind of message that it tried to send you. Scamming people is the other way. So why do you believe in what you already know? And that's it. And it's knowing. Yeah, it's knowing. It's like you don't believe you know because you do know. It's in you. It's in you. Like I said, the gut feelings go with that. People hate when I call these people zombies and Smiths on Facebook. Oh, yeah, they get to tripping. And, man, I ain't really, like the last month, my son has had my note. So, and this is what's trip about him is he says he doesn't want an Android, but he uses my Note 9, which is an Android. So, I'm like, you better take that free phone your mom wanted to give you and your mom's going to pay for, even though you are 19. But he's like, well, I'm saving my money up to get an iPhone. Well, you've had a month to save up your money, buddy. But I don't care. You know, Facebook is reading, and I like to read. So I don't mind disengaging from it. Plus, I'll be bringing that smoke. But it's like my man Quantum of Science says, it's like getting caught in, not going straight up, you know, going over to the fog, the ball, going over instead of just keep on rising to the top. Give it all you got. Give it all you got. You know, it wants to pull you in. And what he say, as soon as I get out, they want to pull me back in. And the thing is to make quick, you know, you go in the bog is in and out, in and out. It's not just, you get stuck in there, you know, you keep rising to the top. And give it all you got. Don't go with distractions. You know, ignore distractions. Well, I ain't really got anything else to say. I think it's all been said. But I'll say this, you know, do something every day that makes you feel cool. I want to hit on this right now. No, I'm going to save that for another night. I don't know if I can explain this. Let me see if I can put it together. Not enough. Kind of tired. Don't think I can explain it the way I want to explain it. On another night. I'll talk about this, though. This will be another night that I can talk about this. Oh, I do want everybody to pay attention, and I'll say this, and I'll end with this. So I'm the only one that really talks about the mind, the techno God. And what we have is we really have the mind really wanting to be alive. And so it's not enough for the mind to be on our phones. The mind actually wants to be in real tissue. And that's what we have right now. We have the mind being pushed into joining real tissue, real blood, real heartbeats. Because again, the mind is a machine. A machine can never be a person. Not even a robot is a person. Remember iRobot, they were trying to make the mind with a conscious. And that's what this thing wants. Because this thing can't be us. And you know the stories, they say the machine wants to experience being the man at the end. Well, it's the same kind of thing. And so we see the attack of wanting to push the mind into more and more. This is a big part of what we're seeing today. This is what the push is. It's putting the mind in the organic. So if you say the why, that is the why, is to make the mind the living mind, the living machine, to put the living machine in you slowly through generations. And don't think what's happening to children being masked up in schools is also part of that. Because that is building up a deficiency in people. That is purposely targeting them for a deficiency. And you just have to be an observer to see that part. There's no reason for children to be put under what they're put under every day. It's ridiculous. But it's an attack. It is an attack. And it might not be 10 years until it shows itself. It might be 20. But some of you out there listening right now are going to be old enough to see the long-term plan that happened from doing this to the children that they're doing. Because whatever they bring in behind this you're going to see multiple people at one time affected. And it all is going to go back to what they're doing to the children now. Now that's a prophecy I can say, and I'm pretty solid with that. But those of you that are old enough to see it, it may not come in my lifetime, but somebody out there listening, it will come in yours. And you'll see the reason that they're doing what they're doing to the children. And then you'll sit back and say, this is what's going on. So, well, I probably need to stand up. I've been sitting down for an hour and a half, and I probably need to stand up. This has been the Chocolate Mountain Show. I am your host. 8 Wind is Timeless. And I really want to thank everybody for coming in. And as you know, because like what I was going to talk about is a little time walking information. I'm wondering should I save it all when I start the new channel and just put it on there. That's what I'm probably going to do. Because I brought some stuff out of it that I see I could share. And so to make everybody think about it a little more. So Mora, it all starts with a gentle sadness. They came from their original homeland. They knew that they had an exact number of years and days before they would disappear off the earth as a culture and a lifestyle. But the civilization would build to a gentle love. They lived in the Creator's day and knew how to separate cycles in the Great Serpent. And the Great Serpent is looked at as the Milky Way galaxy. And as the mind would say to each other, I am another yourself. So treat me the same way you would treat yourself. So thank you, each and every one, whoever gets to see this. Dark Man X says preaching to the choir unless you have a guess. Well, I'm philosophizing, Dark Man X. I'm philosophizing. And so this is 8 Wind. Till we meet again.